and we are live. Welcome to the the Redbird Redzone. My name is Will. You can find me on Twitter at LiveOnThatSwing. Joining me today is Johnny. Johnny, introduce yourself.
Oh yeah, it's Johnny. You can find me on Twitter too at BirdGame509.
And I want to set the scene here. It is currently where I'm at, 11:53 p.m. The Browns-Jets game just ended, and the Cleveland Browns, who have not won a game in almost 2 years, officially have more wins than the Arizona Cardinals have had in 2 weeks in that span. And that is absolutely fucking crazy because the Cleveland Browns just really pulled one out of their ass there. But anyway, enough about the Cleveland Browns. Let's get to a team that actually sucks, and that's us, the Arizona Cardinals. Wow, it wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be. I mean, it's like I'm kind of glad I had work that on Sunday because it's just that was a brutal. Oh my god, that was a brutal fucking game, and we're about to get into depth as to why. But like the fact that Baker Mayfield has been a more efficient quarterback in one game than Sam Bradford has been in two is just absolutely fucking astounding to me. So let's talk about what the problems are with the organization, the problems we saw in the games, everything that's wrong with the Arizona Cardinals right now. So I think the first thing to note, obviously, is Sam Bradford. We are paying this man $20 million, and I want you to guess the stat line for the week.
Well, Bradford's I think it was like 100 yards, but I don't know.
He went 18 for 27 for 90 yards. It's like,
Wow.
Say what you will about like your Alex Smith check down pass kind of guys. If 4th and 10 he throws it 5 yards and hopes for the best.
Yeah.
I mean that's understandable because he at least gets the job done from time to time. He still throws it long every now and then. He takes the occasional risk, even though people call him a conservative quarterback. Sam Bradford looks like he's like afraid to get hurt. I look at him and I don't see a quarterback who wants to win. I see a quarterback who wants to earn every ounce of that guaranteed paycheck that he can. Because the thing with the $20 million contract he got is like most of that money is off the table the second he gets injured. If he gets injured, he loses out on most of that pay because that's not a good portion of that's not guaranteed money. It's just money that he has to make it to the end of the season to see.
Yeah, it's like incentive based.
I see both a man that's embarrassed, that looks like he's afraid to get embarrassed, and I see a man who is afraid to get hurt. I'm seeing David Carr, 2005 Texans, all over this man. I see deer in the headlights. I don't see anything good about this quarterback. And it's just absolutely infuriating to me that I came into the season with the slightest prospect of hope for this quarterback when it's just oh my god, man. It's embarrassing. I've had to like talk to people about who's your we talk about like the NFL like who's your favorite team, and I'm like, I'm a Cardinals fan. What? I'm a Cardinals fan. What'd you say? I'm a Cardinals fan. And it's just absolutely rough. Having to say, I'm a Cardinals fan. We've averaged 3 points this season. It won't get much better. And it's like, fuck, man. It's like even like the Browns. It's like even like last year when the Browns were bad, they still made games interesting to watch. Like their first game was like only a 13-point loss, and they still put up like 20-something points. I mean, even the Lions had the occasional watchable game in their 2008 season. Like they were still in most of their games. They just didn't win any of them. And it's just absolutely crazy to me because it's like I'm looking at the league right now, and it's like I see two qualities that people say about this team, two entirely different qualities that are being done well on other teams. It's like I look at, say, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right?
Yeah.
I see an older core, like if you're Deshaun Watson, not Deshaun Watson, you're Deshaun Jackson, you're Mike Evans, you're Ryan Fitzpatrick, all of those types. I'm seeing those older veteran players really stepping up, and they're going 2-0, and they're arguably one of the most entertaining teams in football to watch right now. I hear, the complaint that I've heard most about the Cardinals is that we're too old, and it's like, Yeah, that's true. But that's not always a problem because look at the Buccaneers. And it goes the other way too. Like people say, "Oh, we're too young to be a team." It's like, look at say, Kansas City and how young their core is. It's like Patrick Mahomes put up 10 fucking touchdowns in 2 weeks, and that's never been done before in the Super Bowl era. Even like Peyton Manning and like Drew Brees only put up 9 in 2 weeks. What Patrick Mahomes is doing with the Chiefs right now against actually decent teams is astounding to me, and it's just absolutely, it just slaughters me to see like my team and what could be and like those other teams, and it's just general mismanagement, general incompetence. Every ounce of our team right now is incompetent. The only people who I think belong on the roster right now are Patrick Peterson, Josh Rosen, Larry Fitzgerald, and David Johnson. Everybody else is expendable at this point. I'm not joking. You think I'm joking? It's like I think if you like just bring in free agents at every other position, like fuck. If you cut the second Sam Bradford gets injured, we are a better team. If Khalil Mack brings him down week 3, we're better. If Ndamukong Suh actually lived up to his fucking promise and like attempted to murder Sam Bradford last week, we'd instantly be a better team because at least Bradford's down and we now have a new and better quarterback at the helm. Because it's like passing 18 for 27 and only managing 90 yards is like, I don't know how that's possible, man. Like, how do you fucking manage that?
Yeah, I gotta agree. Like, if Bradford gets hurt, like when Rosen comes in, like it's better to play Rosen if we're gonna lose or whatever, do bad, because at least we're giving someone a chance that actually wants to play, actually wants to compete, and actually has like the heart and the passion to play. Because Bradford ain't showing that right now.
Yeah, and it's oh god, man, it's not a good sight. The run game, it's like they're not giving David Johnson much to do. I never really got the feeling that he knew exactly what to do with all these inside zones, with the amount of routes he's been given. Like he's been giving no receiving routes, and part of that's Mike McCoy being a general shitheel who can't fucking manage an offense.
The worst play
Another
caller.
part of it, yeah, in that, and plus even if he did get down the field, Sam Bradford won't throw a ball more than 10 yards. I only saw him throw, highlights, all of that. I only saw him throw one pass for 10 yards or more.
That's crazy.
You want to know the funniest part about that pass?
It was probably intercepted.
We lost 5 yards on that play. He threw the ball 12 yards, and he got a loss of 5 yards. He was already way behind the line of scrimmage. He throws the ball to the tight end, and I saw people arguing okay, is that a tight end screen? What is that? And it's he loses 5 yards on a ball that went 12 yards. Holy fuck, that's incompetent. How do you manage that? How do you fuck up that badly? But yeah. Wide receiver game. Larry Fitzgerald's the only one showing up to do anything. Ricky Seals-Jones, I don't know what people ever saw in him. It's he had one or two good games last year when he was playing alongside Gabbert, but it's other than that, he's not been a good tight end. And I don't know how much of that's Bradford's fault, and I don't know how much of that's his fault. But he's just not showing up. He's not deserving of that first string spot. Chad Williams, he's our second string wide receiver. He has not caught a ball all season. And yet people our fans are ardent in saying we won't sign. Or sorry, our fans and our team are ardent in saying we should not sign a Des Bryant type or somebody who can actually catch a goddamn football and make themselves open. It's I'm currently in high school right now, and I've seen high school wide receivers run better routes than Chad Williams. It's just, how did this man make it onto an NFL roster? He's the Christian Hackenberg of wide receivers. He is the Sacramento of people. How do you fucking manage that? How do you not catch a single fucking ball as the second string wide receiver in 2 games? it's just absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's pathetic,
It's,
but you could argue the whole offense has been pathetic
and
through these first 2 weeks.
it's even worse to see like, John Brown, Jaron Brown, all of those fucking people who like left us last year. They're doing better with their respective teams. It's like breaking up with somebody and seeing that they're happier with the person they're with while you're dating an absolute trash bag. It's rough. Like seeing like
Yeah,
John Brown light up for the Ravens right now, and
yeah,
I
he
don't
took
actually know
one.
what Jaron Brown's doing, but he's definitely in a better situation than he was in Arizona.
Yeah,
JJ Nelson, I mean, I thought like I wanted him to the ever since I saw his like combine tapes, and he's just done nothing for the Cardinals. He's just a speed guy. He has no hands,
hmm
and it's just frustrating. It's like I see a guy who can like if he can catch a goddamn ball, he is Devin Hester. He is unstoppable. There's no stopping him. But he can't catch a ball and he can't run a route well, and it makes him an easy player to figure out, and it's just frustrating because there's just so much untapped potential with JJ Nelson that it's just absolutely insane. I keep saying absolutely adjective, and it's just oh god. But anyway, O-line play. I mean, it's not great, but it's serviceable. Like I never got the impression, like watching game tape, all that the line was ever solid, but it did its part to try to keep Bradford alive, which is the most I can really say about it.
no, I
And
disagree with that mostly because like the line, really they're only blocking for like a couple seconds since Bradford's throwing it so quickly out of his hands. Like he just takes a snap, he already throws it like to a little 5 yard out route or something. So I wouldn't say the
yeah,
whole line's really good, but we haven't
it's
seen
like
them.
it's like watching like an Andy Reid game without any of the occasional gusto he throws in.
Yeah,
It's just the most conservative, boring football I've ever seen. It's like at least watching like one of last year's Brown games. And it's entertaining how incompetent we are, but we can't even be competent in being incompetent. We're incompetent in our incompetence,
hmm
and it's frustrating because it's like we are the most frustrating team to watch right now. We're not fun. We're not even like laughable in our incompetence.
yeah,
We're
we're
just
just the worst,
sad. We're like
just the worst.
we're not a yeah. Like it's like people make the argument that Buffalo is the worst team, and it's like I beg to differ because at least Buffalo
Yeah,
put up 20 points against
yeah,
Los
they at
Angeles
least
last week.
they like show at least some signs
They
of
showed up,
yeah.
even if one of their guys literally quit midway through. They still showed up.
Yeah.
And it's like part of me wished that it wasn't Vontae Davis and it was Sam Bradford who quit at halftime.
That would have been nice.
But no, like his fucking 20-year-old, hey, can I buy a beer at the liquor store kind of face is stuck on our team for the entire fucking year because he won't fucking die. He is the NFL equivalent of the cockroach. You can say what you will about Josh McCown, but he never conned 127 million out of several teams, despite not having a winning record and despite being a generally shitty quarterback.
Yeah.
Like Josh McCown, Luke McCown, every McCown that I'm missing. At least they're competent,
Yeah.
Like they're not ever gonna set the world on fire, but they're always okay.
Yeah, they're always like showing at least the passion to play and giving everything they got.
We gave Sam Bradford 20 million because he did good in one game last year where he promptly got injured, and that set the trail for Case Keenum to take over eventually and just become an absolute beast on the Vikings. But it's with Bradford. It's like I don't know what team's seeing him. He's just absolutely garbage now. I don't think he was ever good. I don't think he was ever great. Like
Yeah.
I was like huge on him in college because it's just like he's a dork just like me, and it's like he's got the Heisman Trophy or whatever, and that's cool. But
Yeah.
then he just eventually it's like, oh, he's on the Rams. I hate him now because he's on the Rams, and it's just now he's a shit quarterback on my team, and I hate him even more. So that's fun. I mean, that that shitty hire for a quarterback when like better quarterbacks were on the market. Like, but I know it's inherently political to say this, but if like the fact that we signed Kaepernick to a $20 million contract, well, Kaepernick, the fact that we signed
Bradford.
Sam Bradford to a $20 million contract, while Colin Kaepernick is still on the street,
Yeah.
is just absolutely mind-numbing to me because Colin Kaepernick has made it to a fucking Super Bowl. He is a competent quarterback who is,
And
we're only black.
He's a dual
He's
threat as
what?
well. He could run it. Like he's a dual threat.
Yeah.
He could run the ball. No, it opens up the offense more
Dual threat quarterbacks
creativity.
are great for like any system. I mean, it's like unless you're like Andy fucking Reid and you don't like anything other than 5-yard passes, I can't really be saying much because that's our entire offense now. But like, imagine how much better our team would be if we had Colin Kaepernick right now.
Yeah,
We'd have at least one win. We wouldn't have lost to the Redskins. I don't think.
Yeah, now that you bring it up, like I guess the Kaepernick signing would have been way better than the Bradford signing for sure.
Now watch as we get like rated in the comments by like fucking Trump people, and that's it. Oh, it's like, oh no, that's a fucking rabbit hole. But yeah, it's like we gave him 20 mil and we gave Glennon 8 mil. And it's just like you and I both know that there are better quarterbacks on the market. Like, wasn't like AJ McCarron still on the market by that point, or was he gone?
I'm pretty sure he was still there because when free agency started, like everyone has a chance to grab anyone. But since Kirk went to Minnesota, we basically got the scraps, the leftovers, and had to settle for Bradford.
Yeah, I've not been happy with the Arizona Cardinals this season. There have been points where I said this week 1, but there have been points where I've like actively wished I could stop pulling for this team. But I'm sticking by him because I'm not like a fair weather fan. I'm still a fan. I'm gonna wear a bag on my head for sure, but like I'm still a fair weather. I'm still not a fair weather fan.
Yeah,
This team's a good team. We're just not.
it's not good right now.
Yeah, we're not good right now. We like Sam Bradford. I'm looking at Wikipedia right now. All right, so Sam Bradford this season has only had 243 yards, passer rating of 55.6, no touchdowns, no nothing. Still looks like a fucking weird sex pervert. The fact that he has 243 yards is astounding to me, just in general.
Yeah, watching those games, it seems like how does he even get those yards? Like I don't see anything. Like we're just going
He's
3 and
had
out,
no
basically.
production.
Yeah.
He's shown no signs like of life. He doesn't feel like he belongs on a football team, and it's just sort of sad to see like this husk of his former self.
Mm-hmm.
We have averaged currently 3 points per game this entire season. We have not kicked a field goal, an extra point, nothing.
Lucky Phil Dawson.
We went for 2 against the Redskins with 6 minutes left, and we had not shown any signs of life on the field that entire game. We thought we were in it at that point.
Yeah.
And God, what a mistake that was. Good Lord. It's crazy. Like Baker Mayfield had about the same amount of yards in one night that Sam Bradford has had in 2 weeks.
That's just crazy.
Good fucking Lord.
Yeah.
The Rams defense, obviously tore us apart. Like they knew everything that was going to happen. That's not surprising since every other play we ran was an inside zone or a check down pass.
Yeah, very predictable offense.
Like our special teams, it's like, I jokingly praised the punter last week as like the greatest of all time, but it's like our special teams, like our gunners on the special team, like the people. Well, not the. I don't know if that is the gunners, but like the people who are supposed to like go for the receiver.
Yeah, the Gunners. Yeah.
Yeah, they let up like a really bad play against the Rams, and they gave them like prime field position because they couldn't fucking tackle like their kick returner. And it's just absolutely crazy because it's like
Didn't we? I mean, we have talent on this team. We're just not using it. There's
Yeah,
talent in the free agency. There's people who are not signed who probably fit better in our schemes that we're not using. Like speaking of which, like we moved Buchanan and Hassan Reddick to different positions.
yeah.
To positions that are just absolutely crazy for people like them. Like Hassan Reddick, what was he in? What was he in college?
Defensive end.
Defensive end in college. Now he's a linebacker. And we moved Deion Buchanan
From a safety to a
from a fucking
linebacker.
safe. Yeah, like how does that make sense? Like um, like Wilkes when he came onto the team, he said he wanted to turn those two players into Thomas Davis and Luke Kuechly. Where the fuck did he see any of that? Like, what potential does he see in either of these players? These two players are wastes of draft picks. The fact that they
Yeah,
were drafted this high by us is just absolutely mind numbing.
yeah, they're
I feel
not.
like I'm on crazy pills and that this is all just that I'm just missing something. Why
Yeah,
would we choose two players that don't that we put into different positions that don't even fit our scheme instead of just waiting for the right player that fits our scheme and plays that fucking position and improving
yeah,
said player or just letting them happen. We drafted Hassan Reddick. I think we drafted Hassan Reddick not because he was a talented player. I think he was just a vanity hire. I think he is a Temple grad, and I think Arians thought that was fucking cool, and he just drafted him.
for
Like, tell
real.
me I'm wrong. Like he brought fucking Amos from his Temple days to be the special teams coordinator, despite being like a really trash coordinator.
Yeah,
Like the reason our I think we lost most of our games in like 2016 was our special teams, and like this guy was still in power for that entire year,
yeah.
and it's frustrating to be a Cardinals fan. Um, defense was our defense.
They were just
We
gassed.
didn't let up any points in the first quarter. Shame that couldn't happen for the rest of the game though, because we were just trash for the rest of the
Yeah.
game.
I would say they're just gassed because of the offense, like always going 30 down, so they have to be on the field for basically almost every, like a lot of the time. So kind of
I
hard to
imagine
judge.
the defensive line actively hates Sam Bradford.
Yeah, they're like, oh damn, this motherfucker went 3-0 again.
Yeah, it's like I imagine like they wish like the non-contract drill
Yeah,
contact. Just put it lightly, but yeah, it's funny to see me go from the span of a month, from me singing the high praises of this team to me singing the doom and gloom of this team because that's how bad this team has been. Uh, it's uh, it's just frustrating.
yeah, the worst team like we've basically seen as Cardinal fans, most likely.
I mean, there are people on this message board I'm on, just like lifelong Cardinals fans and shit, who are saying, "Yo, this is not the worst team. Like 2002 is the worst team." It's like 2002, despite how bad we were that season, we still had put up points. We still had good games to show for it. Like we were in our games we were in most of our games that year. And I can't even say that about this team because it's just like we fell asleep at the wheel. We're
Yeah,
not doing anything.
yeah, they're not
We
competing.
have crashed the fucking car. We are stuck on the side of the road, and nobody's going to help us unless we just help ourselves.
I mean, the only bright
And that's,
spot was Patrick Pearson's like interception. That's about it.
I mean, even that was just a risky ass move because I mean, we were on a shitty part of the field, and it's like, oh, I got my car fixed, but I'm on the wrong side of town. So that sucks. You know, uh, yeah, Deion Buchanan can't fucking read a rush. Patrick
Can't
Peterson's the only
cover.
real can't cover. Patrick Peterson's the only real bright spot on our defense. Letting Tyrann Mathieu go was a mistake because, like it or not, Buda Baker is not going to be anything like is never going to be the kind of man Tyrann will ever be.
Yeah.
Jamar Taylor, trading for him. I don't care how little we give
Oh
up for him.
my
It was a
God,
mistake.
he's one
He's
of the
trash.
worst corners I've ever seen. Like he keeps holding too. I think he got called already for like 4 holding calls to like 2 games.
And that's it. And that's just crazy because it's like you never
Yeah.
see defensive holding. That never
Yeah.
happens. How the fuck do you manage that?
Yeah. It's like he has
It's
almost every possession or something. I'm like, the hell am I this guy's holding again?
it's like, last year it's like Valdier like let up a lot of holding calls.
Yeah.
From what I noticed. He was just crazy about holding people. And it's just it got to a point where it's just like not even endearing anymore. It's just sad and boring and pathetic.
Yeah.
And that's what Jamar Taylor is right now. I don't think he should be on the NFL roster, especially with like some of the corners that are on the free agency right now. The fact that we could have signed Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie,
Oh yeah, I really wanted him to come too.
and we didn't do that, and we traded for Jamar Taylor instead. I think that really shows how bad this team is. There are just so many things we could have done in the free agency and the draft that could have improved our team. We could have drafted more than one wide receiver. I know that's like really picky because we drafted a wide receiver really high, but draft one in like the later rounds, man. I mean, like some of the wide receivers that have slipped through the cracks and made the team is like you can't tell me Chad Williams is better than like say a 5th or 6th round wide receiver. Like Chase Edmonds, he's a good back, but I don't think we needed to draft him. We could have probably gotten him undrafted.
Yeah.
I never got the inclination that he was ever anything more than like on radars, but never going to be drafted. But I didn't think he was ever going to be drafted.
Chad Williams and Chase Edmonds, when we drafted him, I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, I never heard of these 2 prospects at all, but they just drafted him anyway.
Like it's always funny to see Kime like do these like weird ass diamond in the rough instead of like known quantity kind of plays.
Yeah.
Like he did that a lot with like the 2nd and 3rd round. Like he tried drafting Tyrann Mathieu after what happened at LSU, and it's like that's a great fucking play because Tyrann Mathieu turned out to be fucking astounding, and we needed a free safety.
Yeah.
But every other risk and like most of the other risk and gambles aside from maybe John Brown, and none of them have really turned out.
Yeah.
What? And who?
David Johnson, because he was also like a 3rd round.
And David Johnson, but those are both exceptions to the rule. It's like tell me that Chad Williams and Brendan Williams, like were those back-to-back years picks or?
No, yeah.
We used 2 draft picks on 2 round draft picks on players that have not shown up at all.
To make it worse,
NFL roster.
To make it worse, the Brandon Williams pick was actually a 2nd round pick. So it's like, wow.
Really, was he?
Yeah, he was. It's crazy. I was like, who's this guy? Why are we drafting this guy?
He was a 3rd rounder.
Huh?
He's a 3rd rounder.
Brandon Williams?
Yeah, Brandon Williams was a 3rd round pick.
You looked it up?
Yeah. I mean, I'm on the fucking Wikipedia right now.
Oh, okay.
And it's like looking at his high school, his high school track record. Yeah. He was originally like a 5-star running back.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Like from college, he was a running back all the way till his senior year, and then he transitioned to a corner.
He transitioned to a corner in his senior year.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, the only reason we drafted him is because he had like a fast 40-yard dash. But I mean, how's that gonna help you cover something?
We have a tendency to draft people with high 40-yard dashes, and it's like that's cute and great if you're like a wide receiver, but like Brendan Williams is a fast guy, but I never got the impression, like looking at his game tape, that he was competent from Texas A&M.
Yeah.
Like I don't know how the fuck he got drafted in the 3rd round at all.
Yeah.
Like I mean, he's playing like corner in the SEC. Like I don't know how he got drafted that high, but despite being such trash. But yeah, we lost to the Rams 34-0. And what's probably like one of the most dismal Cardinals games I've ever seen.
Would you say this one was worse than the Seattle one in 2012?
Yeah. Yeah, because at least we had wins at that point,
Yeah.
I know it's too early in the season to say that, but it's just like those two games are night and day. Like the
Yeah.
Seattle one was a pure beatdown.
Yeah.
Like that was just over from the second it began. That first quarter of the Cardinals Rams game showed hope.
Yeah.
And having that hope taken away little by little is devastating.
Yeah.
And that's what the Cardinals do to you. They give you hope and then they take
Yeah.
it away.
Yeah.
They're like a cheating ex-wife. No, kidding. But yeah. I don't have any faith in the Cardinals to win this
Week 3.
against the Bears. Like people are like pointing to Mitch Trubisky being like just a mediocre quarterback, but it's like
Yeah.
people are saying this, but it's like we played Alex Smith week 1 and he fucking dominated us. And I
Yeah.
don't care if Mitch Trubisky's not a competent quarterback. They still win games when he does not play good because they've got a backfield that I'd kill for. They've got Jordan Howard and Terry Cohen, who just both light up the stat sheets like whenever they get the chance to. And I don't see how anybody is saying we're like even in this game. Like at a point like last week we were like 1-point favorites. Now we're like 6-point underdogs, like rightfully so. Like the fact that it's not, you're 34-point underdogs or whatever is just absolutely insane to me. I actively hope Khalil Mack murders Sam Bradford.
Well,
that won't
hopefully
happen.
Bradford holds on to the ball long enough just to get hit.
Yeah, that won't happen because they just jinxed it. So let me reverse jinx it. Okay, I actively hope Sam Bradford does not get murdered by anybody. 0-16 season, time to be the most boring winless team ever. But anyway, do you think we should cut it to a close, or do you think we should keep going?
Well, I'm just gonna end it right now by just saying the only chance we have at winning the Bear game is if Trubisky has one of his worst games, but I mean
that won't happen because
it's a long shot. It's a long shot.
Like even last year when he played the Panthers and he only completed 4 passes, they still won that game off the backs of their running backs and defense. Their defense has been criticized for not being able to hold out in the second half. That they always crumble.
Yeah.
But it's at least shows up in the first half,
Yeah, and that's against
in that Seattle game.
That's against high-powered offenses Green Bay.
In that Seattle game and that Green Bay game, their defense held their own pretty strong offenses, I'd say. It's I'm not saying Seattle team's offense is great, but they're still tricky to get a handle on, They're like a cockroach. You keep stepping on them, but they won't die. They're not any good, but they won't fucking die. But anyway, that I think that about brings it to a close.
Yeah, wrap
yeah, I don't really have much else to say. 1-16 season, guys. Let's hope that Bud Light brings one of those coolers here so we can actually get a fucking win. I'm firmly of the belief right now that everything we have for Baker Mayfield and a better offensive coordinator and a new defense and some rule changes. But anyway, this has been the Redcast. Again, my name is Will. You can find me on Twitter at LiveOnThatSwing. Beside me. Well, not beside me. Separate states, but is Johnny. You can find him on Twitter at
BirdGang509.
And we actually now have a new logo. It was designed by a good friend of mine on Twitter. Her name, you can find her at BubblingBrook _. And I think that brings it to a close. We'll see you next week. Thank you for joining us.